topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV, where we bring you educational information from top local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Now sit back and listen to experts in family law, association law, hearing loss, business brokers, home care, along with many other topics. Now here are your hosts, Steve-O and Sophia.
Hey, good morning, South Florida. Welcome to the 16th year of Ask the Experts. We have a new show for you this morning. You have been asking us to bring an estate planning show on, and it is so hard to get space on our show. We do about 30 shows a month all over the country. South Florida is so important to us. That is our home base. And we were lucky enough to find one of the top estate planning attorneys in the state of Florida. Let me welcome our new show, our new guest attorney, Tom Olson. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Steve, and all of your loyal listeners.
Hey, listen, we've already gotten about 5 questions already from people who saw your show was coming on. You know, we do a live show, and I love our show is live. Most people don't want to take that kind of chance because there's always problems that come up. We had a few problems this morning, but we're good. It's so good to see you. Before we get started, tell people about Florida Senior Planning, PA.
Steve, we're a law firm that represents and assists clients throughout the state of Florida. Wherever you are in Florida, we can assist you. But today we're focusing on Broward, Palm Beach, Dade, and Martin counties. Certainly we can help anybody in those counties. We help people with their estate planning, helping them to avoid probate, helping them to protect their assets from the cost of a nursing home.
I tell you what, Tom, this show is so important because we have more of a mature audience, and estate planning is so important. There are so many stories out there from Prince not even having a will. I mean, someone who had all these managers, and people seem to wait to the last minute. But hopefully, with a show like this, we're going to get people to start planning early. From what I understand, there's 4 estate planning documents that you think that people should have. Talk to us about that.
Well, Steve, before I do that, I want to touch on a point that you brought up, and that is this, is that I've been a lawyer in Florida for 45 years. And back when I first began practicing, when mom or dad passed away, rare was a day that the kids would argue with each other. These days, there's a good chance that the kids are going to argue with each other, and also a good chance they're never going to speak to each other again when mom and dad pass away. So that's all the more reason for mom and dad to get their estate plan in order. If they make things simple, easy, inexpensive for the kids, when mom and dad pass away, they're going to help make that happen. And I know that's every parent's goal. So, Steve, there are 4 important documents we think that everybody should have. A will, where you simply direct who gets your assets when you pass away. A living will declaration, which I call a pull the plug document, where you ask that you not be kept alive by machines. A healthcare surrogate. So if you're not able to, you're appointing somebody to decide what doctors, what hospitals, what medications, and a financial power of attorney. So if you're not able to, you're appointing somebody to pay your bills and manage your financial affairs.
There is so much to learn about when it comes to estate planning. I want to get some of these questions that are coming in. We had Martha from Coral Springs. I'm so glad you're putting a show like this on. We've needed a show like this. Tell me what I keep hearing the expression elder law. What is elder law?
I would call it just a broad category of an attorney that does estate planning, wills, trusts, avoiding probate. And these days, it's also more about planning for keeping people out of a nursing home, but also if they happen to go into a nursing home, how to protect their life savings from the cost of a nursing home. So those would be the categories and the areas of law for an elder law attorney. And that's certainly something that our firm does as well.
Does it surprise your clients how expensive uh, long-term care is, Tom?
I think most people are aware of it. And the typical, what we hear is this is that, and for your listeners out there, if you're out there in the community and talking to your friends and family and coworkers and neighbors, and you hear these words, oh, mom is going into a nursing home. She fell and broke her hip. She went to rehab. We thought she was going to be able to go home, but turns out she's got to go into a nursing home, also known as a skilled nursing facility. That's $14,000 a month. Everything that mom worked for going to be down the drain. 5-year look back period. Nothing we can do about it. Well, we have all the tools we need to protect your wealth from the cost of a nursing home. So I think most people are aware that a typical nursing home in Florida, anywhere from $12,000 to $14,000 per month.
Crazy. Unbelievable. Let me ask you, does having a will avoid probate? Because God, speaking of expensive, probate can get so expensive.
Yeah. People ask me that question on a regular basis. They'll say something, oh, Tom, I need to have a will because I want to avoid probate. And I got to break the news to them that having a will has nothing to do with avoiding probate. A will simply directs what happens to your assets when they go through probate. And Steve, you are absolutely right. People want to avoid probate because it's expensive and it takes a long time. Florida statutes recommends an attorney fee to be equal to 3% of the value of those assets that go through probate and an executor personal representative fee of 3%. So if mom passes away and all she owns is a $400,000 home and a $100,000 CD to run that $500,000 through probate in the state of Florida times 6%, that's $30,000 to run those assets through probate. That's a lot of money. And that's what people want to avoid.
So there are things that you can do to avoid probate, right?
Yeah. And Steve, I'm going to talk about that in a minute, but I want to get back to this point, and that is that we want to make things simple, easy, inexpensive for our clients to avoid probate. And that's going to help their children to avoid having arguments when they pass away. And again, Florida Senior Planning, we can assist clients throughout the state of Florida, Dade, Palm Beach, Martin counties, anywhere from Key West to Pensacola, we can assist you in avoiding probate. And just so, for example, it's easy to avoid probate on your bank accounts, checking, savings, CDs, money markets, by keeping those accounts in your name. I'm talking to the listeners now, but making them POD, payable on death to your children. If you make your bank accounts POD for your children and you pass away, the only thing they need to do is to show the bank or credit union or investment company your death certificate, and they'll turn the money over them, no probate required. Now, if you get to make your bank accounts POD, you don't do that with me. You don't do that in the will. You do that at the bank or the credit union. They'll give you a form to fill out. And when you do this, it is not the first of your children to get down to the bank gets all your money. No, it's not like that. Any one of your children can show the bank your death certificate. And if you've got 3 kids, they'll write 3 separate checks to your 3 kids. They don't even need to talk to each other to get that money. And that's keeping it easy and helping them to avoid arguments.
Well, I just brought up about wills, but it seems like most of the questions come in want to know about trust.
Yeah. So, Steve, we consider a trust to be a complicated tool for avoiding probate. Most of our clients use simple tools to avoid probate. So we talked about a simple tool to avoid probate on your bank accounts by making them POD, payable on death. Let's talk about another type of asset. IRAs, retirement accounts, 401ks, life insurance. Those, any asset where you get to name a beneficiary when you set it up, you can assume that it's not going through probate. So as long as you've named a primary beneficiary and a contingent beneficiary on your retirement accounts and life insurance, they're not going through probate. And here's what I mean by that, Steve. When we're counseling a married couple about avoiding probate and the husband says, I've got an IRA, and we say, surely you've named your wife as a beneficiary. Have you named your children as a contingent beneficiary of your IRA? Often a husband will look at us and say, I don't know. Well, if he's not named his children as a contingent beneficiary and his wife happens to die before him, now he dies with an IRA or life insurance with no beneficiary, and now it's going through probate. So again, on your IRAs, retirement accounts, life insurance, make sure that you name both a primary beneficiary and your contingent beneficiary. And that's the easy way to avoid probate on those. And then, Steve, we have a great tool for avoiding probate on your home. I'm sure some of your listeners will be very interested in that. What do you think?
I absolutely, especially since most of our listeners are homeowners. I want to get, because we don't have a lot of time, I want to get as many of these questions that are coming in. This is from Mark in Fort Lauderdale. Hey, I just found this show. This is a great show. Thank you for bringing this to us. My question is how often should a will be reviewed?
Yeah. Well, by the way, for your listeners out there, Steve, they can reach us and get more information about us at our website, Florida Senior Planning. Again, FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. We assist clients throughout the state of Florida. Anywhere you live in Florida, from Pensacola to Key West, we can assist you with wills, trusts, and avoiding probate. Steve, there's no expiration date on estate planning documents, but often somebody will call me and say, Tom, I did my will 15 years ago. My kids were young. I named my brother to be the executor. Now my kids are older. Well, you would need to redo it and now appoint your adult children as your executor. The other thing is that it is a very, very important and critical document to have a durable power of attorney for financial affairs. Florida statutes do not put an expiration date on a financial power of attorney, but the fact of the matter is banks and other financial institutions, they don't like old financial powers of attorney. Believe me, these are critical documents. You want to have one up to date. So if your documents are more than 5 years old, it is time to have them reviewed. If your durable financial power of attorney, it was great when you did it, but it's more than 5 years old, that's a reason in and of itself to have it redone.
We just got a question from Mark and Davy. We're getting them from all over South Florida right now. When a person comes to you for estate planning, how long does it take for the original meeting? And what if I own a lot of property? Is that more involved?
Okay. So, Steve, for us to do estate planning for people wherever you are in the state of Florida, we can assist you. It's about a 30-day from start to finish. So first of all, we offer a free initial consultation, FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. We can do that free initial consultation over the phone, in person, via Zoom, whatever is most convenient for you. We gather information for you. We all agree on the best action plan for you, and then we quote you a flat fee. We always work on a flat fee basis at FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. We mail you drafts. You can review them in your own home, and then we make arrangements for you to sign it. Steve, often when we're done signing documents with a client, they'll say something like, oh, that was easy. So we know it's not pleasant to think about death and dying, but we know how to make the process very simple at FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. Now, Steve, we talked about a living trust being a complicated tool for avoiding probate. A living trust can be the appropriate tool for avoiding probate if you own property in another state, like a vacation home in North Carolina, or if you own multiple pieces of property, like your caller was saying, or if you have young beneficiaries like young children or young grandchildren you want to include in your estate plan, or if you have a child who's a spendthrift or a child who has alcohol or addiction issues and you want your wealth to stay in trust even after you pass away. Those are all good reasons to use a revocable living trust. If you're not sure, hey, Tom, am I using simple tools or am I using a revocable living trust for the purposes of avoiding probate? Contact FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. We will help you quickly figure out what's the best tool for you.
This is from Martin in Palm Beach County. Thank you so much for bringing this show. I was one of the people who wrote you about a show like this. I am wondering, I know there's going to be in family fighting
Yeah,
when we announce who I guess who's going to be overseeing all this. How do
right.
you keep that from happening in the family?
Steve, that is so real. This client, your caller or texter is right on track. And we want to make things simple, easy, inexpensive for the kids. And so that what we're trying to do is avoid probate. And if there's probate involved, we've done something's not been done right. Okay. And when there's probate involved and the oldest child is appointed as the executor and they get things done very slowly, or it's their opportunity to settle a score with their siblings, believe me, all kinds of things can go wrong. But if we take all steps necessary to avoid probate, we're not going to need to have an executor appointed, because what's happened to your assets is not governed by your will. It's governed by how you fill out the beneficiary designation forms on your life insurance and IRAs, how you made your bank accounts POD for your kids, and how we avoid probate on your home using a ladybird deed. And Steve, I want to talk about that for a minute, because we get calls every day that go like this: Tom, my mom has passed away. The only thing she owned was her home. Well, we got to break the bad news to them. It's going to require probate to get that home out of mom's name and into the names of the kids. And of course, FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. We're lawyers in Florida. We can do that probate, but we're all about helping people to avoid probate. So if we take all steps necessary to avoid probate, then what happens to people's assets is not governed by their will. It's governed by how they fill out the beneficiary designation forms on IRAs and life insurance, how they made their bank accounts POD, and how they did the ladybird deed, so that when they pass away, all of their assets are going to automatically pass to their kids. No headaches, no hassles, no probate. And that means there's going to be much less opportunity for the kids to argue about things when mom and dad pass away.
Tell me why I should hire your firm, Tom.
Steve, we have a lot of experience and a lot of great Google reviews, and we're all about client service, Steve. When you call us, by the way, you got our direct dial number. You can call us, you can text us, you can email us. It's very easy for you to reach the lawyers at FloridaSeniorPlanning.com. You can call us directly. We'll pick up the phone Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. We're always happy to give people a few minutes of free legal advice. Steve, I've been doing this for over 45 years. We have great lawyers here at FloridaSeniorPlanning.com, and we're going to take good care of you and your listeners.
Hey, this is your first show. What a great show. We thought we were going to have problems at first. It turned out better than I even could imagine. Tom is going to be with us every month. And Tom, I got to tell you, what a great first show. We're running your phone number on YouTube, but we've got so many people on iHeart and Spotify and on the radio listening. Give people your phone number one more time.
So again, you can go through our domain, which is floridaseniorplanning.com. But if you want to call us direct, you can call 407-423-5561. That's 407-423-5561. We'd love to hear from your listeners and all your YouTube subscribers.
Well, we sure had a lot of text already. We've sent your phone number and your website to everybody. We will see you next month. Thank you so much, Tom.
My pleasure, Steve. Good to see you.
Attorney Tom Olson, estate planning attorney. Tom will be back again with us next month. Hey, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back again with you next week with more Ask the Experts.
Thanks for tuning in today to the Ask the Expert show on W4CY Radio and Talk4 TV. Tune in next week and every week to hear more from our experts on personal injury, insurance, air condition repairs, estate planning, Medicare, and many other topics in the areas of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. See you next week.